Located on Milwaukee Avenue, the Niles Design District is a home improvement destination for consumers, designers, and contractors. For those looking to renovate a kitchen or a bathroom, expand with a new addition, or enhance their curb appeal, Niles Design District in Niles, Illinois offers everything in one convenient location.
It's your road to a better home.
Here I come to save the day.
Welcome to Mighty House. This is a radio show for people with problems, home improvement problems that is, and for people who want common sense guidance on how to build green and live a more sustainable lifestyle. Send an email or call into the show. The Mighty House crew is on the job. This is Mighty House.
Hey, we're back. We're back. We're still in Robbie's basement though this week.
That's right.
We got stuck down here. She doesn't let us out, so we're going to have to talk more basement stuff. So I think we're going to talk about backup systems. Is that correct, Rich?
Yes. Well, what happened is last week we did a quick show on sump pumps.
Yep.
And we got a number of emails asking us more about backup sump pumps than actual sump pumps.
Sure.
So instead of waiting 6 months, we figured, what the hell? We got all the stuff together. We might as well just piggyback it. And
right. And
here we are.
We're already in Robbie's basement, so why not?
Right. And
exactly.
The other side of that, it is a different day. It is
sure.
the 11th of November.
Yes.
Happy Veterans Day to you two guys.
Hey, there you go.
Thank you.
There you go.
All right.
That's it. Hey, before we get started too, we want to say thanks to the Niles Design District and for sponsoring us and helping us out here. All the information for them is down below. Just look for the link and go to their website. They've got a lot of great stuff for your house. And also I've also got this, and we're going to be giving this away. If you stay tuned towards the end of the show, we'll tell you how to get this. It is Crescent backpack, and you want to talk about storage for your tools. See, it's got all kinds of fun. And the other thing is, we just discovered when we were looking at it right before the show, it's got a trunk. So it's got a trunk in the backpack there. So this is pretty interesting. We'll go through this a little bit more at the end of the show here. So let's go ahead and get started there, Rich. First picture is, there we go.
Dun, dun. So we're talking about choosing a backup sump pump. As we said last week, we talked about sump pumps. So right here, we've got a battery-powered backup sump pump. But amazingly, it looks like it's homemade.
This is two batteries, two 12-volt batteries, and then you've got your inverter up here. And then the sump pump gets plugged in, and you can see it down right where Rich is there. Right there, right there. So that's where it's all plugged in, and so that works. I don't know if that's a system that you would buy or not, but it looks like it would work. And you've got two batteries, so depending on the amp hours of those batteries, it could run for quite a while. The other picture.
So in that pit, you've only got one pump. You
Correct.
do not have a sump pump and a backup. He is running a normal 110 volt pump, but he's powering it through that inverter and only has the batteries plugged into a charger.
Correct.
All right.
So that's how that's all working there. And if you go to the next one, here's a closer look of it. So you got two batteries. Here's the little clips for your battery tender, and then there's the inverter that you would plug your sump pump into.
Huh.
And
so does it matter what kind of battery I get?
As long as they're 12 volt, I mean, you could use some old car batteries if you really wanted to, but we'll get into batteries and what kind to get in a little bit. The other thing is on your inverter, when you do this, make sure it'll do at least 120 volts that it's putting out and about 20 amps. So that way you can cover that pump when it starts up. Most of these pumps are going to pull, right around 15 amps or so. So if you size your inverter for 20, you don't have to worry about burning out your inverter when you go to assemble this kit and you're doing it for yourself like that. So
you're an electrician. How long would that rig run a motor?
Continuously?
Yeah.
You'd probably get 12 hours out of that thing, 10, 12 hours.
Really? You think the batteries would last that long?
Oh,
and
yeah.
Still the inverter would give out 110 volts, 120 volts?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it depends on the size of the pump, obviously. But
well, and obviously your pump shouldn't be running continuous for 12 hours. Obviously you got a float switch. It's still going to go on and off.
And that's what I mean. It would last for 12 hours or so, depending on, how much water you're trying to push through. And, you can always go out and plug it into your car too and keep charging them and running them up and down, swapping them out with your car. So that's another option you can do to just keep it lasting longer if you wanted to. So these are kind of homemade DIY kind of systems. And what else do we have there? Oh yeah, there you go. See, now this, it's got your battery, it's got a separate pump, it's got the charge controller right here, and all of that works with a separate float on a separate pipe. And now that system you can drop in your pit and it'll run completely independent. Whether the power goes out or not, if your pump goes bad, it wouldn't matter.
So that one you'd have 2 pumps in the pit.
Right. So if your main pump burns out,
regular Zoller in there.
Right. If your main pump burns out,
just in case, right? Then when that one, if it burns out, which is unusual, if that goes, then your backup pump, the 12-volt backup pump, kicks in.
I can't let that go. It's not unusual to. Can't let it go, Rich. So it's just a way.
So that one's actually nice too. But so the other thing that you try to remind people is when you're putting in a backup sump pump, you don't set it at the bottom of the pit next to your other pump. It should be set so that your basement doesn't flood.
Right.
So what I mean by that is you want to set it so it keeps the water level maybe 2 inches below the floor line. So that would be set much higher in your pit. And the idea behind that is that if you only lost power for an hour, hour and a half, that you wouldn't even be running the backup pump, wasting your battery at any point. It gives time for the pit to fill up, the drain tile under the slab to fill up. And then if the power doesn't come back on, the backup pump kicks in.
And keeps
but
your
if
basement
power comes
dry.
back on, then it's still sitting there waiting to go.
Right.
So a lot of people put it too low and you start competing and burning up your battery. And then if you have an extended loss of power.
Right. Yeah. And at least if you're using that entire drain tile system as storage also. So you're letting all of that store up and hold water. And when your power comes on, the main pump will clean that all out and dry it out for you. But in the meantime, the idea is just to have this pump run long enough to keep it dry until the power comes back on.
Right.
So, but these are nice systems, and these work really well. This happens to be a Zoller one, which we were raving on Zoller last week, so I figured I'd pick their battery backup system also.
Well, it's because everybody could use a sponsor.
Yeah, and we're not trashing them, so that's a good thing. So what you were talking about before is what kind of battery should you get? And how, you really want to look for amp hours. That's really the whole idea. The larger the amp hours, the longer that battery is going to last. This is a standard lead acid where you have to add water and you maintain it. And there's maintenance to these, and you have to check them all the time. If you go back to that previous, yes. If you go back, see, now this controller here will tell you when that battery's running low on water, and it'll remind you to go ahead and top off the water. So, and there's several systems that do that. So you can get the lead acid, and then you have to just constantly, it'll remind you to put water in it. And what kind of water do we put in there, Rich?
Distilled?
Distilled water, yeah. Can't put the regular water in there. It'll kill the lead plates in the battery.
It must be distilled.
Yes.
So what else you got? What other batteries? Helicopter batteries?
No. But these are AGM. This is a glass sealed battery. You don't have to add water. So now this system will run. It's a deep cycle battery. It'll last a long time. It'll run more hours. And then the other one was the gel, but we needed a special gel charger for it.
Yeah, kind of need special chargers. I found that out the hard way. I did. I had one in my car, and I had it on a trickle charger. I went out there to run it. It didn't run. And I went and read the instruction. And it says, "Yeah, don't use this on a gel cell."
Right.
All right. I got 2 battery tenders if you need one.
But you can set them up. Some of them, the better chargers you can dial them in for what kind of battery it is. So if you've got a gel,
I found that out after it didn't charge.
Yeah, lithium ion, all of those. You can buy a charger for those, depending on the types of battery you've got. And if you get one that has all those different options, that's probably the safest way to go.
Now, which one of these acts like the lithium, where it's the same 12 volts all the way through and then drops? Does the water one kind of
the AGM.
drop down, or
no? This AGM will be very similar to it.
Okay.
And that's actually what I've gone to all my motorcycles and the trucks, all that stuff is all the AGMs. And that's all we would install out on the job when we put these in. So we don't do the lead acid anymore.
No.
So,
too hard to dispose of, too.
well, people don't take care of them. So, you know, the alarms go off. All we get is a call. The alarm's going off again. We get there. We just add water and leave. You know, so they pay for a service call. If we put this in, we don't have to worry about it. We don't get the phone calls anymore. So we want to come out and do something new. We don't want to just come out and keep putting water in your battery. Yeah, you know, there's better use of their money than that. So we spend a few extra bucks. We put this in. Problem solved.
Okay. What else we got? What kind of pump don't I have a battery on?
Oh, see, now this one's pretty cool. No battery, see, no wires. There's nothing in there. But it does have this copper pipe to it. So if you're on city water, and you could use one of these water pumps, the downside to these water pumps is it takes 2 gallons to remove 1 gallon of water out of that pump or out of the pit.
And what kind of pace can it do it at? I mean, would you think it would keep up? I've never tried it. So
we've actually got a few of these installed. Never had any complaints. Never had any basements flood. So, you know, from that I would say it's okay. But
just crazy water bills.
It depends. Yeah, it depends on your because this is an eduction system, is the scientific thing that actually.
2 hours later.
Sump.
Right.
Then you have a medium pipe that goes through the sump, in through the pump, and then out through a larger pipe. And that difference between
12 o'clock midnight.
between the medium pipe and the small pipe is what's going to fill that up. So
It
starts
creates a
pulling
suction.
Exactly.
And it lifts it. And I know there's also
Why didn't he just say that? He was siphoning it.
Yeah.
So, and the nice thing is we've done a couple of these that are 8-9 feet. We keep that up at the ceiling, not down here, and it will lift it and pull the water up out of the pit. So they do work, and I just don't know the gallons per minute. If you've got to move a lot of water fast, this may not be your option to use.
Well, and going back to last week's show, and when we touched on this just prior to this one, is and it goes back actually to our next segment or next part of this with the discharge piping. So you want to talk about the proper way to set up your piping,
Right.
but the height that you have to lift the water and that total run helps you to, if the longer it is, the more horsepower you need, the more gallons per minute you need to move because there's drop off based on height.
Right.
So
Yeah.
definitely something you need to watch when you're looking at the box.
So go back and watch last week's show. Well, we go through all of that, how to properly size the discharge pipes on your sump pumps. So this works really well. Make sure if you're on a well and your power goes out and you don't have a generator, this is not going to work. So, you know, that's why I was started out with, if you're on city water, this might be an option for you. And if your pump never runs, but you just want to have a backup in case, this is a great option. No maintenance, no nothing. It sits there. It's waiting to go to work. So.
And no power.
Does it have an
power.
automatic bleed?
Sorry?
Does it have an automatic bleed?
Bleeder?
Well, because if you've got that pipe run from your water service over that pump never turns on. That's technically more than 2 feet of dead pipe that gets stagnant.
There is a check valve you're supposed to install in it. This one doesn't have it, so this one might be back further. But there is a backflow prevention device that goes on these.
There we go. See? Always think it can't contaminate the rest of the house.
Correct. You don't want to get bad water back into the system and drink it. What do you get, the Legionnaire's disease or something like that?
Something like that, yeah.
Something like that.
I know it's not good.
Right?
So, it don't taste good, and it don't make you
So
feel
all
good.
I got to do is take my 2 pumps and just stick them into that one pipe and just run them outside.
No, because now you could, well, yes, I guess that's how
Like
this
that.
one's done. So now you have your battery backup, you have your main pump, all going into this one pump, or one pipe go out, discharging out. If this pipe gets clogged and this pump burns out or gets frozen, now this one won't work either because it's all discharging through the same pipe. So we really should be doing, what's next? This. So now this is properly installed. You've got one discharge pipe for your sump pump, and you've got one for your backup. And now that whole system runs out. It's separate, and you don't have to worry about the discharge pipe being clogged for whatever reason, and each one will run separately. Now, you go back to what we were talking about, volume of water that's being moved. If your main pump can't keep up and it sets off your backup system, now you're moving the volume of water that you can move, and both pumps will work at maximum capacity versus them going into one
Competing.
pipe.
Right.
So this is an ideal installation right here.
I like it.
Yep, there you go. So with that, I think the last thing we really want to talk about is you can do these other systems too, and Zolar's got them. I think this is a Watchdog I pulled up. We installed quite a few of these. If you just want to know all the time and you're always nervous about whether or not your sump pump's working,
The
if there's
status
anything,
of your pump.
yes, or it's in a crawl space, you don't have easy access to it. You can have this. It'll report to the website and through your Wi-Fi system, and it'll just pop up on your phone. So if that needs the battery needs water, or the float switch is stuck, or any number of the alarms that can go off on this, it'll show up on your phone and let you know. It'll send you a text. It'll send you. It'll also call you if you want. So
You're saying they have an app for that.
and there is an app for that. Yes.
There's an app for that. Outstanding.
So if you don't want to have to walk downstairs, you just want to look at your phone and make sure your battery backup system's working, you can also get these that hook up right to your Wi-Fi, and they're off and running. So
Outstanding.
there you go. All right, let's bring this.
How do
backpack.
That's it. How do we win a Crescent backpack? Let me throw
So,
this
oops, sorry, I
on
just
your
smacked
chair.
you right in the head there, dude.
No. I just trying to push your stool in.
No, I'm not going there.
Trip hazard.
Yeah, it was just a trip hazard. Sorry, I didn't.
All right, there we
So
go.
if you've been watching and you got this far,
Yeah, yeah. So here's how.
this is how you win the Crescent Tool Bag.
Now look at this.
backpack.
It's got pouches and storage all over the place. It's also got inside here more pockets, and I don't know if you can see those in there very well.
Wow.
There's
You know,
for
it's got
screwdrivers,
layers, it's got
wrenches.
levels.
Yep, all kinds
That's
of
awesome.
things. There's hooks, and then there's right here. There's a place for your tape measure on the outside. But here's the best part too. Oh, look at that. We can do this. See, there's a trunk in the back side. Right here's your straps. Right there's your straps. But see, look at that.
That's for your change of clothes.
Yeah, you could do all, and it's separate. It's got its own container. And now let's look in here. Oh, now you can see all the pockets and stuff in there.
Wow.
That's like two
That's pretty
backpacks
nice.
in one.
It's two.
Yes, clothes on one side, tools on the other.
Yeah, there you go. So it's
So
really
that thing's
nice.
like a mullet.
It's a mullet. It's the mullet backpack from Crescent. There you
That's
go.
right. Because it's all business up front and party in the back.
Yeah, there you go. See that? See, Rich, it's all up to you, buddy. You got it right
See,
there.
I have no idea why Crescent won't sponsor us.
I know. So if you want to win this mullet backpack, and all you need to do is email us this week. What's the date again?
Today's the 11th.
Today is the 11th
Yep.
So by
of
the
November, 2020.
So by the 18th of
Yes.
November, send us an email and send us a picture of your current tool bag.
Well, we have to figure it all out on 18th. So let's say the 17th. By midnight of the 18th of November, 2020.
There you go.
Because if you're watching this on a podcast a year from now.
Right.
But anyway, send us a picture of your used, beat up tool bag, toolbox, tool whatever.
Right.
You know, if it's your bucket boss that's on its last leg, whatever it is, send us a picture.
Yep.
Send it to rich@mightyhouse.net
Mm-hmm.
or ron@mightyhouse.net. Either one.
Rich.
Yeah, either one.
Rich.
But send us a picture of your beat up old bag, and then Ron and I will get together and we'll just choose one.
We're going to
Nothing
choose
else,
somebody.
thank
Whoever's got the worst looking bag, we will send you a fresh new bag. Since the holidays are coming, you could also use this as a giveaway. Whatever. You could do it's
There
a
you
gimme
go.
gift, right? So there you go. The Crescent backpack, or what you call it, the mullet backpack.
The
There we
mullet
go.
backpack. Business in the front, party in the back.
All by Crescent. Thanks, Crescent. Crescent gave this to us too, so this is nice. We'll be
know.
able to give this away. So
I've been using the hell out of my Crescent tape measure. I might need a new one from them.
Oh, I've got 3. You know how you just keep collecting them because you never find them? So I think I've got 3 of them now. Those
Yeah,
are really
everybody
nice
I take out
tapes.
on a job, everybody loves it because it'll extend so far.
Yep.
But it's like, no, it's just nice and it's heavy duty.
Yep. No.
And the numbers are bright. I got the black background with the yellow numbers.
Yep. I've got 2 of those.
And with my old eyes, that's so much easier to see.
Yes, it works out really well. And then everybody else looks at it and goes, "Oh, look at that."
Yep. Uh-huh.
So Crescent's
Anyway.
they've got a great line of tools and tool bags. So if you want to win this tool bag, send us a picture of your stuff, your old nasty, ripped up, torn up bag, and we'll send you a new one. That's it. We'll
We'll choose a winner we'll choose a winner to get. Yeah. Careful how you phrase things. That's how lawyers get involved.
All right. Well, hopefully you learned something about backup sump pumps today, and we'll be back next week with a new topic. Make sure you click on the subscribe button, the like button, the bells and the whistles, and all that fun stuff. And subscribe. We'll be back next week with the new topic, and who knows whose basement we'll be in. I have no idea.
Right.
So until then, keep it square and level.
There you go.
Until next week.
Next
Next time.
next week.
Next
Square
time.
and level.
Whatever we want to.
Whatever. Let's just get out of Robbie's basement.
Yeah, I know it stinks down here, man. Located on Milwaukee Avenue, the Niles Design District is a home improvement destination for consumers, designers, and contractors. For those looking to renovate a kitchen or a bathroom, expand with a new addition, or enhance their curb appeal, Niles Design District in Niles, Illinois offers everything in one convenient location.
It's your road to a better home.